What if I told you that one man, living over 500 years ago, designed a helicopter, a tank, and a robot? It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But this isn't a movie plot. It's the real-life story of Leonardo da Vinci, a man so far ahead of his time that it almost defies belief. Today, we're not just looking at the Mona Lisa. We're diving deep into the mind of a genius who saw the future centuries before anyone else. Stick around, because what you're about to hear will completely change how you see this Renaissance master. Everyone knows Leonardo da Vinci, the artist. The man who gave us the enigmatic smile of the Mona Lisa and the divine drama of the Last Supper. His artistic genius is undeniable. His paintings are treasures of humanity. But to only see Leonardo as a painter is like looking at an iceberg and only seeing the tip. The real, mind-boggling story lies beneath the surface, hidden within thousands of pages of his personal notebooks. These notebooks, filled with sketches, notes, and radical ideas, reveal the true scope of his intellect. They show us Leonardo, the scientist, the inventor, the engineer, the anatomist, the man who was, in almost every conceivable way, a man of the future living in the past. Let's start with his fascination with flight. In an era when the very idea of humans taking to the sky was pure fantasy, Leonardo was obsessed. He spent countless hours studying the anatomy of birds, meticulously sketching their wings and analyzing their movements. He understood that flight wasn't magic, it was mechanics. This led to his design for the ornithopter, a flying machine with flapping wings mimicking a bird's flight. While it may not have been practical with the materials of his time, the principle was sound, but he didn't stop there. He also sketched a design that is astonishingly similar to a modern helicopter, which he called the aerial screw. He theorized that if a linen screw-like device could be turned rapidly enough, it would press against the air and lift itself up. This concept of vertical lift was revolutionary, a seed of an idea that would only come to fruition over 400 years later. Leonardo's futuristic vision wasn't just limited to the skies, he was also a brilliant military engineer. He lived in a turbulent time of constant warfare between Italian city-states, and he offered his services as an engineer to powerful patrons like Duke Ludovico Sforza of Milan. His designs were terrifyingly advanced. He conceptualized an armored car, essentially the world's first tank. His drawing shows a circular, turtle-like vehicle covered in metal plates with cannons poking out from all sides. It was designed to be powered by men inside turning cranks, a mobile fortress that could roll into enemy lines and create chaos. While the gearing system he drew had a fundamental flaw, some say intentionally, so it couldn't be used for evil, the concept itself was a direct ancestor of the tanks that would dominate battlefields in World War I. He also designed giant crossbows, multi-barreled guns akin to machine guns, and even siege weapons that were centuries ahead of contemporary military technology. Perhaps most astonishingly, Leonardo was also a pioneer in robotics and automation. Long before the word robot even existed, he designed what is considered one of the first humanoid automatons. Around 1495, he sketched out the plans for a mechanical knight. This wasn't just a static suit of armor, it was designed to be fully functional. A system of pulleys and cables would allow the knight to sit up, wave its arms, and even move its head and jaw. It's believed he may have actually built a prototype that was presented at a celebration in Milan. This wasn't just a toy. It was a profound study in biomechanics, demonstrating his unparalleled understanding of how the human body moves. He was essentially reverse engineering the human form to create a mechanical man, an idea that is at the very heart of modern robotics. And that brings us to his work in anatomy. To understand how to build a mechanical man, you first have to understand the real thing. In an age when dissecting human bodies was highly controversial and often forbidden, Leonardo took the risk. He conducted more than 30 human dissections, peeling back the layers of the human form to see how it worked. His anatomical drawings are breathtaking in their detail and accuracy. He was the first person to accurately draw the human spine, the heart's chambers and valves, and a fetus in the womb. He didn't just draw what he saw, he analyzed it. He understood the heart as a pump and the muscles as a system of levers and pulleys. His study of the heart's valves was so precise that a modern-day heart surgeon, Dr. Francis Wells, built a working model based on Leonardo's designs in 2005 and found that Leonardo's understanding of blood flow was more accurate than anything that would be proposed for the next 400 years. He was literally centuries ahead of medical science. His genius extended to civil engineering and geology as well. He designed bridges, canal systems, and even entire cities with advanced sanitation and traffic flow in mind. His plan for an ideal city featured multi-level roads, separating pedestrian and commercial traffic, a concept that wouldn't become common until the 20th century. He studied geology and fossils, correctly concluding that mountains were once seabeds that had been uplifted over immense periods of time, a direct contradiction of the religious dogma of his day. He understood hydrology and the power of water, designing locks, dams, and water-powered machinery. He was a systems thinker, seeing the interconnectedness of everything, from the veins in a leaf to the rivers on a map, from the muscles in an arm to the gears in a machine. So, why was he so far ahead? What made Leonardo's mind so different? First, he had an insatiable, almost childlike curiosity. His famous motto was Sapere Videre, which means knowing how to see. He didn't just look at things, he observed them, questioned them, and deconstructed them to understand their essence. Second, he was the ultimate polymath. He refused to be confined to a single discipline. To him, art and science were not separate. They were two sides of the same coin, both ways of exploring the beauty and mechanics of the natural world. His art was informed by his science, and his science was visualized through his art. This cross-disciplinary approach allowed him to make connections that no one else could see. The tragedy, if there is one, is that so many of his incredible inventions were never built. The technology and materials of his time simply couldn't keep up with his imagination. He was a man with a 21st century mind trapped in the 15th century. His notebooks, filled with these revolutionary ideas, were largely lost and disorganized for centuries after his death. One can only wonder how different the world would be if his scientific and engineering work had been published and understood in his own lifetime. Would we have had flight centuries earlier? Would medical science have leapt forward? We'll never know. But what we do know is that Leonardo da Vinci was more than just a great artist. He was a visionary, a prophet of science and technology. He showed us that the greatest tool we have is our own curiosity, and that the boundaries between different fields of knowledge are artificial. His legacy isn't just in the Louvre or in Milan. It's in the helicopters that fly above us, the robots that build our cars, and the medical knowledge that saves our lives. He truly knew how to see, and by studying his life, he teaches us to see the world differently, too. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mind of a true genius. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into history's most incredible stories. Let me know in the comments which of Leonardo's inventions blows your mind the most. Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.